go, right? Happy Monday, full week this week. We ready for that?
No.
No, I'm with you. We're going to get through it. We're going to do it together. We're going to start with social studies today. Yay! No? Not excited about that? Come on, guys. It's Monday morning. We're going to do social studies first. Nick's like, no. What I need you to do on your iPad is go into Moby Max. We're going to make sure, fingers crossed, that I assigned this to everybody. I know sometimes it will assign it to most of you except for that one person. So if you could go to Moby Max, you're going to look for the 3 branches of government. And that's where we're going to start today. We're going to start some reviewing this week for social studies with our iLearn coming up. And we're going to start with the branches of government. So go ahead and see if you have that assigned to Moby Max. We're going to go through some of it together. Okay?
What's the Moby Max link?
There's a link in science, remember? That you can log into. Yes, and then it should say, once you open that, it should look like that. The government of the United States, and then it'll be like a subcategory. Okay? Right? Alright. You good back here? Somebody's got it? Add my notes and pictures and let the sign it. You got it? Okay, I need you to go into Moby Max, please. Is that where we're at? We're ready? Okay. The bottom one. But actually, yours is the second to bottom one.
Do we need our notebook?
Hello? Wait. Oh, no, 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 no. No, that's okay. I'll find out. All right. Bye.
This long?
Yes.
I have the government of the United
Yes, so you're going to click on the government of the United States, and then it should open up for you this 3 branches of government, okay? Don't panic, it says there are 58 slides. We're not doing all 58 slides today. We're going to do part of it today, part of it tomorrow, and then we'll finish it up on Wednesday, okay? Because that's a lot in one day. Question, Wyatt? Not right now. We'll talk about book reports later, okay? All right. So, mine is going to be a little different. It's not different in the sense that it looks different, but when we get to the parts where you are answering things, it doesn't let me do that on mine, okay?
Does it show you the answer?
It shows me, no, it just shows me the answer options, okay? So if I click to slide 2, this is what we have.
Can we go to slide 2?
Yep, go to slide 2. So this is all stuff you should have did in chapter 10, okay? Turn that off. And we're going to read, I'm going to read, so those of us that are listening on the video can hear. Okay? You ready? We all hear? Sean, question? No? Not working? So you would hear, right? Social studies. Yours is giving you the wrong one. That's not the one we want. Are we doing the assignments? You need one of the books. Yeah, that's the one you want. It shows you that same one. Oh, right here. Your branches of government. Hit the next button, that green button you got down there. That's odd. Does the government not need, because you need all the stuff before. See, there's always one, right? And that said tests, didn't it? We don't want tests. Here. Nope, that doesn't look right either. You have all kinds of odd stuff there, Sean. Hang on. Let me fix it. Let's see. So you might want to close out of that, Sean, and then I'm going to reassign it. We're going to try again. Everybody else is good, right?
Yep.
Okay. No? Who said no? You just got back, though, so you're trying to log in, right, Kenny? Moby Max, yep. All right, Sean. Let me get you assigned here. Student. right, while you're waiting, you can read that little paragraph, and we'll get to that here in a second together. So go ahead and read it while you're waiting, okay? And then we'll talk about it in a minute. Let me get Sean fixed up here. Government 5. There it is. All right, Sean, it says it's assigned. So try refreshing. Okay. Let me get this pulled back up here. All right. Smear built in. All right. You good, Kenny? And I need you to stay on this page. Follow along. We're supposed to be reading the paragraph. So sign. Rules and signs. Got it in there? Alright, so I'm just gonna have you follow along up here with me for right now, okay? It's alright, let's figure it out. You remember, Kenny? See, I'll just have you follow along too, okay? You ready? Alright, so let's just do that. Alright, so up here, the federal or national government is the level of government that makes decisions for the whole country. The federal government is based in Washington, D.C. Who's in charge of our federal government right now? What do we call that person, and who is it? Ooh, raise your hand. John? The president, and what's his name? Jackson? Joe Biden. So he is our current president and the one that's up here for the federal government, right, in the capital of the United States. The U.S. Constitution outlines the organization of the federal government, splitting it into 3 branches. Who knows what those 3 branches are? Ooh, all hands should be up. That's something you talked about. You've probably talked about that since at least 2nd grade. Maya? Yep, executive, judicial, and legislative. And if I scroll up here, they're kind of showing you some pictures down here, right? Okay, and you can click on those buttons to learn more. Like I said, mine, let's see if it'll let me do it here. Mine doesn't let me click on things in the teacher spot. Each of these branches has its own responsibilities and powers. The division of government responsibility into different branches is called the separation of powers. The separation of powers keeps each branch of government from having too much power. So if you click on those, tell me what it tells you for number 1. Can I click on the number?
Yeah.
No, I can't. It doesn't do anything for me. What's it tell me? Number 1, nice and loud so our friends here can hear us. Go ahead, Nick.
The legislative branch creates laws.
Legislative branch creates laws. So you remember that, right? Legislative and laws both start with an L. It's usually the easiest one to remember. If we click on number 2, what do we get? Nice and loud for me, Emmy. Executive. Mm-hmm. He enforces laws. And who's in charge of that one? The executive branch. Kenny? Yeah, who's in charge of it? At the federal government, anyways. The president, yep. And the last one, if I click on number 3, Josh, what pops up?
The judicial branch interprets laws.
interprets, right? So they're telling you if the law is constitutional, okay? They're telling you what it means. So judicial and judge or jury start with J, so that's an easy way to remember those. Okay, different branches. Question, Nick?
Yeah, so like the legislative branch like comes up with the ideas for laws, and the judicial branch has to pass them.
Well, they still pass them, the House and the Senate, right, still pass those laws, but the judicial branch might tell you, this is not gonna work. Okay, so they kind of have a say too, and that's where that separation of powers comes in, right? We all have to agree that this is a law that will work for us, okay? So if I go to slide 3, I talked about a document that outlines those powers and responsibilities. What was the name of that document? Jackson? Real loud, I can hear you.
Article.
Not the Articles of Confederation. That's one we talked about early on, wasn't it? In the American Revolutionary War. So if I go back, Adam, what is it? Nick?
It's the Constitution.
Right here, right? The U.S. Constitution outlines the organization of the federal government, splitting it into 3 branches. So, the Constitution, remember, always go back. If you're not sure, these are all familiar, aren't they? We've talked about all of these. Okay? So, if you're not sure, always go back and read the information that you're provided. Question, Wyatt?
Are we supposed to click
Yeah, you should. And see, that's where mine doesn't want me to do anything. Probably because it's just a teacher sample, so. Okay, where you should click on it, and then does it take you automatically to 4?
No, you have to.
No, you gotta
press
click over to
the
4.
next one.
Alright, so then when I click to 4, we're matching some powers here, and we just talked about these, right? We clicked on those houses. So if I didn't know this information, where am I gonna go back to?
Second question.
Where am I gonna go? Riker?
Two ones back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to slide 2 it was, right? And then I would click on these again,
We
okay?
can't.
It doesn't let you go back?
No.
Oh, well, I can go back, but that doesn't help us because I can't click, does it? All right,
Need computer.
so here we go. Matching those powers. Let's do it together. Executive branch, which one? Now this is why I like this, because you got to drag and drop, which is similar again to the way you might do some things on iLearn, okay? So, executive branch did what? Jackson? Enforces laws. So you should drag that one over here, drop it in the box. Over to the judicial branch. What do? Ava? They're interpreting the laws. So drag and drop that one there. That means the legislative branch creates the laws. Okay? And then we're going to hit next. I'm going to let you answer that one. Why is the separation of powers important? Ooh, remember, we talked last week. When did we go to the gym together? Thursday?
Yeah.
Now, what did I say was important about all of these answer choices? Should I just read the first one and be like, yep, that's it, and move on?
No.
No, what should I do? Good test taking skills, John. What should I do? Right. Read the question first. Read all the answer choices. Maybe at that point select my answer, but always read all of them. Okay, and try to make sure you can eliminate certain ones. Remember I said usually there are 2 we can always definitely eliminate. And then they always have those 2 there that's like, oh, they're both kind of correct, but which one is more so correct? So looking at those, what did we decide? What did we decide? Claire? Yeah, it's the last one here. Are these mixed up on yours? Or are they in the same order? Same? Okay. So this last one, it keeps each branch of government from becoming too powerful. That's what the separation of powers is. Okay, question, Riker? Yeah. All right, that takes us here. So you're doing some more check for understanding. We're not going to do all of it together. You're going to finish through slide 16. Okay, so you're going to get to, let me see what the next one is. You're going to get to one of the branches. So you're going to learn about the legislative branch today. Once you get to the next branch, you're going to stop. Okay, so check up here. See these numbers? When you get to 16 of 58, you're going to do 16, and then you're going to stop, and we'll come back and we'll look at it again tomorrow. Okay?
49. Yeah, it says 49. So.
Okay, so mine has 58, so you'll just stop at 16. and we'll see where we're at tomorrow, okay? All right, questions on this right now? I got one more thing I want you to do today. Okay, we're gonna start talking about the different states. How about iPads face down? So I know your eyes are up here. Okay. We're gonna start talking about the 50 states and their capitals. So in order to get some of that information in, I have some papers about each state that require you to do some labeling. Okay, that's part of our social studies, knowing where some main things are in states. So, we're in the state of Indiana. Might as well start with Indiana today, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you going to know where a lot of this stuff is? Probably.
Yes.
Okay, which is fine. But if you come across something you don't know, what should you do?
Look it up.
Look it up. There are lots of maps of Indiana. This is one I happened to find when I just Googled map of Indiana. And this one almost looks identical to what you're doing. Okay?
It kind of.
So you're labeling those. You're going to want to hold on to these because that's something that's going to help you later down the road as we continue through these 50 states. Okay?
Yeah.
So sometimes we have questions. I started this. I didn't finish it. But sometimes, I'm going to show them here, we have questions about what we need to do. So they want you to color the states around Indiana. Notice there isn't much to Michigan. Okay? See how Michigan's kind of just a teeny tiny bit? But I would still color what you can so you know that's Michigan.
Is there
Okay?
some color right there?
It does. There's a key down here. It says color the states. Okay, it'll give you those states you need to color. There's a bonus question, and yes, I accidentally left the answer down there, but oh well. I'll get it next time. So you got a freebie on that one. Then you have this word bank. So these squiggly lines mean it's a river. Okay, and then you'll come into some states that have mountains, and it'll be a mountain symbol. Okay, and you're labeling each of these important landforms or cities, because there's cities in here too, in the state of Indiana. Okay, so you're going to do that. You're not submitting it. You're going to hold on to it. All right, so that way you have it for when we're learning and reviewing those states. And we start with Indiana because why not? Okay, so two things you need to finish: that Moby Max through slide 16. Okay. So you're going to finish up this through 16. Don't do all of it. It's way too much. Okay, and then I'll give, this paper is on Schoology, and I also have hard copies for those of us that are here at school. Okay, so your choice, paper copy or on your iPad. Okay, that's it for social studies reading. There's no video. You just have a daily reading assignment. We'll talk about that later. Okay.